everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Live tonight. I'm your host, Carlo Libertini, here on Music Marketing TV. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully you're able to attend this live stream with me. I'm looking forward to your creative chats. If not, if you're going to join us later in the future, just leave your creative comments below. And we'll always do our best to get back to you in any way. And tonight, we're featuring Melody Sauce 2 by the great folks at EVAbeat. Now, if you've never used Melody Sauce 1 or version 2, you're going to be in for a real treat. I've been having nothing but real creative inspiration using this application. In fact, before we take care of some please and thank yous, let's take a listen to a little bit of what Melody Sauce 2 is going to do for us and where we're going to go with it tonight. All of these sounds, all of these melodies, the musical elements were created here with Melody Sauce 2 quickly and easily. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So we're going to start from the ground up, but then we're going to get into some more advanced techniques. So follow along with me. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, just check the product description below. If you're looking for a qualified vendor or some more information at all, just visit our brand page. Links are in the description. And don't forget to subscribe and become part of our community today here at Music Marketing TV. You can get access to hundreds of pro audio free tutorials for you, and join me in future live streams coming up. We'd love to have you. Thank you. All right, so let's kick some tires. Now, let's answer the question. What is Melody Sauce 2? Well, it's basically an AI melody creation tool. But what does that mean? It's not arbitrary. Built into this is a lot of intelligence. It's going to help you create these musical elements, just the right sauce, if you will, to any project, especially when it's electronic music. I find that it really lends itself, and it's so flexible and creative. So let's start from the ground up. Now, whatever your host tempo is set to, right now I have this project set to 110 BPM. Melody Sauce automatically will sync with your host tempo. It kind of has to be able to follow along with the beats. All right, so keep that in mind. Plus, it has this new version 2, has a sound engine capable of generating about 100 different tones, and that's also included in this. Plus, you could also use the MIDI out to take the MIDI that it's creating and trigger other virtual instruments. Hopefully, we'll definitely get to an example of that later on when we get to the more advanced stuff. And it's got a style here for more genre-specific music creation. All right, but built into this is what EVAbeat calls I think it's a phrase builder engine. It's trademarked. So this phrase builder engine is the technology that is AI powering Melody Sauce here. So we've got 3 different sections. It's as simple as that. So we're going to start with the main controls, the creation mode, and then our output section here. So if you want to get started, I always recommend coming to the key first. When you select here, you've got the major keys and the relative minor keys. So whatever key your song is in, this is where you're going to want to start. Now, if you're not using Melody Sauce to I'm reading the charts. Sorry about that. The chat room. Definitely, if you're with me live on this, thank you for chiming in. All right, guys. Thank you for definitely bring your questions and comments. I'm going to keep an eye on those. It may take me a second to get to them. I've got 3 monitors going on here. So thank you. All right, now back to the key. Now, if you just want to start your song creation from scratch, then just pick a key. Now, by default, it comes with C major, A minor, so we'll leave it on that for now. Then we can choose the speed. Now, what the speed is going to give you is the kind of speed for the auto generation. In fact, let me solo Melody Sauce, the track 1 here, and let's play this. So you can see it's in the key of C major, A minor. It's at a medium speed, has a length of about 4 bars here that it's looping. It's going up 12 cents here per octave. And it's outputting here what's called pop pluck, which is probably right here under pluck with the sound engine. So you're getting an idea of how easy it is to create this. Let's go to fast now. And in real time, instantly, you can change any of these parameters to help you create the feel for the melody that you're looking for. That's fast. Let's go to slow. Let's go to medium. Let's go to fast. So you can kind of play this as an instrument if you really wanted to. And the loop length, as I mentioned before, this would be a 1-bar loop, a 2-bar loop, and a 4-bar loop here. Right now it's set to loop on 4 bars. And our octave, if I set this to 0 and press play, you hear the tone changed. And it goes down as low as -24. Some more low end bass effects. And high for some very high melodies there. Let's go bring it back to +12. And then following that, in our main section, we've got the groove. Now there's none. You can also do a triplet or a swing beat, a swing kind of edge to this. Go to triplet. Let's go to swing. The syncopation will add more rhythmic elements in there to give it a little bit more of a gallop, if you will. You can turn it on and off like this. And legato will obviously give it more of a legato feel. Here's without. Here's with. Sounds exactly the same. It's probably because this particular tone I'm using doesn't lend itself to more legato elements, but I'm sure we'll get to some of those. Now, if you notice in the creation mode, I'm here in free mode. Now, what that means is it's kind of freestyle mode. It lets you, the user, choose how you're going to create the melody for this. Next to that is style. This will activate a more genre specific. See, here's free mode, here's style specific mode. And from style specific, you will select from this area any one of these styles, musical elements from these styles, from techno, pop, R&B, hip hop, even trap. So freestyle lets you have complete control. Genre specific gives you a little leg up in case you're working with a specific style of music there. But let's keep it under free mode here, because I want to explain to you what it is with these pads that we're looking at. Now you can see at the top we have simple, complex, and all. And here from top to bottom we have light, dark, and all. Basically you do a combination of these. If I wanted a little bit of light with a simple rhythm, I would select this one. If you want light with complex, I would select this one right here. And this would be a combination of all and light. So dark and simple, complex and simple, all and dark. So you can see how you can use this to have 9 different buttons to create any combination of 9 different musical melody elements there. And every time you do that, for example, it will load it into the melody bank for us. Here. Let's go to our next tone. You see I have it set on electric guitar. Now if I wanted to add and create a new melody here, let's say I wanted one that was +12, a little syncopation, and I wanted one that was light but a little complex. Or actually, let's do dark with all. You can see it now adds it here to the melody bank. So I've just created it, and quickly as that, the AI engine is giving us more melody varieties to choose from. And to do that, you can see it's set to melody 2 right now. Here's melody 1 that we just created. And here's the original. And if you wanted to create some more, then you could just choose another one like this, and you see how it populates it here. And you can actually trigger them on the fly. So in real time, you can manipulate any of these parameters to really just create the feel. Once you get familiar with the elements, you kind of massage them into place. I feel that you do play Melody Sauce kind of as if it was an instrument after spending some time with this. Not a traditional instrument in a sense, but these functions, if you will, are a type of instrument because they trigger different kind of tones and beats. Best way, of course, is to find out for yourself. So definitely download a demo if you haven't already. Or, yep, this is live. Nice. Thank you for chiming in there. All right, let's get back to a little bit more here. Let's jump into the style button. Now here on track 3, you can see I have this instrument set to style. Now, when you're in style mode, you'll see I only have one pad here to trigger a tone because we're actually leveraging the power of AI again here with the style specific. So when I'm set to style, I can scroll through different presets here, or I could choose the style first. For example, EDM, and I'm playing a lead piano. Let's say I want to do a rhythmic piano. And then I press this pad and it now created a new rhythmic melody for me just like that. And going back to the original one, here's one. Go back. And here's another one we created. So it's as easy as that. Now, while this is playing back, we can scroll through different types of instruments in those genres. Let's see if we can do maybe. Let's go to house. And let's do an organ bass. Create it, and there it is. Let's bring that in actually. I kind of like the sound of that. Oh yeah. Hey, everyone in the chat room. I like this one. Let's bring in some more elements. So I'm going through a lot of these parameters to show you how simple and easy it is, but also how fun it is to dive right in and start using Melody Sauce too. So we talked about setting your key first, choosing the speed, and then how you have the loop length and the different octaves you can change the tone with, and then your groove settings. We have free and style. Free, again, allows you to choose any variety between these settings here, and style lets you choose from the genre specific ones. Now back under free, you'll see that the output section allows us to choose Melody Sauce, the instrument, which is what we're working with here, but also you can output as MIDI, and I'll do an example for you of that in a moment. Let's go back to this, for example, where it's on Metal Bill, and I'll show you how to change sounds using the built-in sound generator that's included now with Melody Sauce too. Just select it like this, and you've got instrument specifics. His guitar, keys, mallet, piano, pluck. Let's go to bamboo here. I'm curious. And let's create a feel. There we go. Ooh, that sounds nice. Let's bring in the bass. I like that. So on track 2, we now created a bamboo pluck sound here under freestyle. And it's here Melody 4. And notice it's not overwriting or deleting our previous work. It's populating them for us here in the memory bank. And what's cool about that is, let's say Melody 2, let's go back to Melody 2 for example. Let's say I don't need that one anymore. I could delete it like this by choosing the X, and it's gone. Now, if you have a favorite, for example, like this one we just created, then you can activate the star like that. And you just gave it a favorite. Plus, if you wanted to get the actual MIDI data from this, either you wanted to save it, export it, or use it that way to trigger another virtual instrument, you can actually select this plus icon right here and drag it onto your track, and there it is. Notice it's the 2-bar loop here, 1, 2, see that? And because we have it set on 2 bars. Now if I delete that and come back to 4 bars and select this, drag it on, you'll see now that we've got 4-bar loop there. As easy as that. All right. And that is how you can actually pull the MIDI out of this and actually put it into your DAW for any reason at all. And when you play it, it's just the same. Isn't that nice? Also, now let's talk about some more of the output sections. We talked about the built-in sounds here. Now below that, we've got reverb, delay, and chorus effects. This is really neat because it's kind of like you can turn them on and off like this. So it'll give you a general reverb, a general type of delay, and a general type of chorus. Now, of course, you could always bust these instruments to different effects if you want, but these are included on board and they actually sound pretty nice. Let's listen to the reverb. I'll activate it right now. Ready? Let's bring up the level. Now let's do some delay. I'll activate delay and bring up the level. Oh, I like that. It adds an extra layer of syncopated rhythmic elements to that. Here it is without, and then let's bring it up a little bit. Let's bring a little bit of reverb again now. Sounds amazing. Here's our low end. And some chorus. Let's bring that in too. A little bit goes a long way there. All of this is courtesy of Melody Sauce 2 by EVAbeat. Nice. So I wanted to introduce Melody Sauce 2 here with this session. I got a couple more sessions in mind that we can start kicking some more tires and get a little bit deeper into. In fact, why don't we do that right now? Let me close this. I'm not going to save that. And let's go to Melody Sauce 2 here. All right. And you can resize the plugin. There you go. As easy as this. Look at that. Small as this. I should like that. It's a cute version. And as big as this. Of course, we're going to give it all the screen level we want. Now, in case you're wondering, I am using loops that are included here with Studio One Pro. Regardless if you're using any DAW in the world, or Pro Tools, Cubase, Studio One like I'm doing, Logic, Digital Performer, it'll just work flawlessly. So don't think it's DAW specific. It's not. It's a virtual instrument. It's very capable and will deliver the same pristine results no matter what DAW you're using. So it's the process we're really highlighting here, okay? All right. Now open up another session here. You can see my BPM is set to 120. And as I mentioned before, that Melody Sauce 2 will automatically sync to your DAW's host tempo. And it also helps that if you are working with audio, it's good to have things timed, quantized to the beat when you're using this type of music creation, because it really depends, it is creating loops for you. In essence, I mean, that's really what it's doing. Remember here in the loop length, here's a 1-bar, a 2-bar, and a 4-bar loop. All right, so I have here a drum loop. Let's take a listen to the drum loop. And I've got some musical elements right here as well to go with that. Very different than what we started with. That's the point. All right, and let's get into Melody Sauce here. Now, I have it on 2 tracks here. Here's track 1, and let's take a listen. Let's have a little bit of fun with this and create some melodies. All right, now let me see what it's on right now. Oh, that's nice. It's set to dramatic strings. I'm on free. Now, if you've been following along, obviously we're in the key of E flat major, C minor. I have it set to a 2-bar loop here, plus 12 cents at the octave. And I have it set to dramatic strings. I'm on freestyle, so you're in charge of full creation here. So we're not targeting genre specific. All right, so and with freestyle on, I have it set to dramatic strings. Let's take a listen to that again with the other musical element and the drum loop. And of course, we have our delay there and our reverb on that. All right, let me rewind the playhead to the beginning. All right, so let's talk about this. Now, I also have it on another track here for some additional layering, some extra sauce, if you will, right here. So when you're doing this, obviously, between versions, here's Melody Sauce 2 on track 3, and here's Melody Sauce 2 on track 4. Notice they're both in the same key. That obviously is going to help you a lot. So let's keep it in the same key there. And these are both set to freestyle. Here we go, this one and this one. All right, so let's have a little bit of fun now. And let's go back to, since I like the dramatic strings, let's play around a little bit with the hybrid xylophone here. And as we talked about before, let me lower the volume on that track. I have it set on a 4-bar loop. Let's change our instrument. Marimba, nice. Listen to that. Great sound engine. Oh, I like that too. Right piano? Oh, I like that. Okay, so now let's create a melody phrase and commit it to our melody bank here. Let's say I want to go dark and simple. I'm going to select this one, and then you see it populated there, and it's automatically set to on. I like that. So now you can compare different versions. Let's say I wanted light and complex. Select it there. Here we go now. It's as easy as that. It's so amazing. Now, underneath the melody banks, I want to talk about harmonize section. I had set to off right now. Let's go back to our first one. Let's solo that. Ready? You can actually add an additional layer of music here in terms of harmonization. Check this out. Let's add a high harmony now. Let's do some mids, ready? A middle harmony. It's a great way to not only add more of a musical element to your work, but to really thicken things up sometimes. Let's add a low harmony now. I like that. So let's hear this in the mix. Actually blending nicely with the dramatic strings that we have on track 3, courtesy of Melody Sauce 2. Let's solo those two together. All right. You know, if you're into audio production, which you obviously are, you wouldn't be joining me tonight, or you're just curious, I really appreciate your time. I want to convey to you how a tool like Melody Sauce 2 can really help spark some inspiration, if you will. And it does things so quickly and effortlessly that you don't step out of that creative headspace. Everything we've been doing has been instant and in real time. And then you often stumble upon something that surprises you, like what we just did here. Notice that the bright piano sound here in track 4 in Melody Sauce 2 and the dramatic string setting here in track 3 in Melody Sauce 2 really do sound great together. I wasn't planning on something like that. We happened to stumble upon it here in our live stream, but it really sounds nice. And we're doing this all in free mode. Free will mode, if you will. I'll call this one free will mode. You don't want to call it freestyle mode because there's a separate button named style right here. Okay, and we can now add that to, let's say we wanted to create another element, melodic element here. We did freestyle, and the way I know that is because when you select one, here it's freestyle, see? Select the next melody one, we're still in freestyle. And if I want to now do a genre specific to compare, why not? I'll go into style mode and let's pick something. How about something close to what we're working with here? Techno, simple plucks. Okay, and then I choose the pad button to generate it, and there it is. Exactly what it is, techno simple plucks. And in real time, let's change them. And generate another one. And I never lose my work. It's all being populated right here in my melody bank. Melody bank, I love it. Let's go to EDM, and I'm going to pick something related, kind of similar. Let's do another emotive piano here and generate that one. Now I've got 5. And I'm going to choose my speed to slow now, and I'm going to harmonize this with my mids. Oh man, let's bring that in. I've got like battling pianos now. Let me bring the harmonizer off. I don't think we need to delay there. And again, because experimenting doesn't take a lot of time or energy. Oh yeah, time for some trance. You got it, Composing Gloves. Great to have you on board, by the way, bro. Good to see you. Just simply, remember, delete it and it's gone. Now we've got these other 4 left. And we could keep adding some more. Let's go back to Melody 2. Let's try Melody 1. Try Melody 3. That was the techno. See that? It switched to style. Now go back to... I think Melody 1 works good. And Melody 2. So now I find myself just creatively playing around with this together with you at home tonight. And I love it. I'm having so much fun. And we haven't quite gotten into the advanced editor section. Why don't we do that right now? Here, let me close this session and let's open up this one right here. Okay. Now you'll notice that again, I have some loops that we're working with here, and I've got Melody Sauce on track 3, but I've got another instrument on track 4, and then a general MIDI track here, instrument track, waiting for some action, some love there. Let's take a listen to what we're starting with. And again, this is all generated with Melody Sauce 2 here for us. Does that sound great? And in my melody bank, I also have, looks like I've got another one that I might have created earlier. Let's reference this one. Nice. Let's go back to Melody 2. Oh, You really can play this like an instrument if you wanted. But I digress. Let's talk about here, the advanced editor. When I open that up, you're going to see that it's going to reveal a new layer, a tab here with some advanced settings. Now what this is going to do, remember we've got a 1-bar loop, 2-bar, and a 4-bar. Here's 1 bar, bar 1, bar 1 and 2, bar 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what this means is now I could target specific types of melody creation even further using specific chords in mind. So from the chord adjust, I can choose on, and then I can select the chords that I want it to focus on for my first bar of the loop. Okay, right now it's set to E minor. And then for the second bar, now, by the way, if I just wanted to loop this E minor riff it's going to create, keep in mind, here's a tip for you, select the 1-bar loop length. So my backing tracks are continuing to play, but Melody Sauce 2 is simply looping the tone that we've auto-generated for ourselves here over and over again. And if I set this to 2 bars, you'll see that the playhead meter will come to about here and stop. And it switches to A minor right there. E minor, A minor. And if I go to the full length 4 bars, it's going to give me chord changes here all throughout every bar there if I wanted, and had different unique chord changes there. Is it possible to edit those patterns? Yes, I mean, you can edit any pattern, but however, right now, when you're creating a pattern, that's a great question, thank you. When you're creating a pattern, from my experience, it's going to deposit itself in the bank. Here, you can change the rhythm within each bar, if that's what you're talking about. So, for example, let's listen to bar A. If I wanted to change the rhythm to dark, choose dark. It's a little bit different there, isn't it? Let's go back to light. I could choose the octave again, make it. And if I wanted to change the rhythm, regenerate a rhythm, every time I press this button, it's going to change the melody rhythm. There. So yes, within each bar, you have the element of telling it specifically what kind of chord, what kind of structure you want it to play within. Melodically wise, you can choose between light, dark, change the rhythm, and you can flip the high notes with the low notes around. Let's try that. Let's flip it again. Ready? Another added element that's really cool. I think that is pretty nice too. Okay, so we have it set to 4 bars. Let's go to 1 bar again. And I'll play it like an instrument. Ready? 2, 3, 4. There. So that's a small look into the advanced editor, but hopefully a lot of this just flows and makes sense. Can you drag the MIDI from the plugin to the bank? Yes, we can do that. Absolutely. Let's do that right now. Here, we're in Melody 2. I'm going to grab this and bring it down, and then there you can see the melody. And it's actually a 4 bars. Remember, we have a 4-bar length here. Composing gloves, great question. So we have a 1, 2, 3, and 4-bar loop right there. This is amazing. So there's our MIDI for us right there. And it's what I love about being able to instantly create MIDI like that is you can drag it onto another instrument track, or you can use Melody Sauce's MIDI generator to trigger not just the built-in sound generator that's included with it, but a whole different instrument as well. In fact, let's do that. Here under the output section, I'm now going to choose MIDI. So when I play this, it's going to look for another MIDI track. And you'll see that on track 4, right here, I have 0 box right here from Zune Audio added, okay? And on my input here in the track, I have it set to Melody Sauce 2. So now it's going to literally take the MIDI generation from Melody Sauce 2, send it to a different virtual instrument to play. Isn't that cool? And we can change different parameters. There, so now we're leveraging, let's see. Oh, that is nice. It is nice. So now we're leveraging the power of 2 different applications at the same time, and I love doing this. So we're using Melody Sauce to create the MIDI and outputting the MIDI to a different virtual instrument, which is 0 box here in this case. As easy as that. All right, let's go to, let me see, I'm actually going to select something here. Let's try, what can we add? What can we put on this really quickly? Let's go to dance bass. Yeah. Notice, just another tip for everyone who's watching. Here on my tempo, on my other, because I'm now sending my MIDI from Melody Sauce 2 by EVAbeat to the input of a different virtual instrument. I want to make sure that my tempo right here on that virtual instrument is also set to sync with my host DAW. Because if you do this and it's not lining up, then be mindful, because right now I have it set to external here on 0 box, so that it's going to still sync up with my host tempo, which is at 110. Okay, there we go. And if I go back to instrument now, it's playing from the built-in tone generator here on Melody Sauce 2. Go back to MIDI output. As easy as that. Now we could take this one step further. As our friend here, Composing Glove, said, let's take the MIDI now and drag it onto another track here. And on this track, this is a 5th track. This is another way of working, obviously. This is a workflow. We're doing workflow-minded advancements here, because I wanted to do a lot more of the advanced features here in this 3rd section of the video here, the live stream. And we have an instrument. I've inserted addictive keys here. How cool is that? So rather than trigger another virtual instrument like you can do with the output section, by dragging the MIDI onto another track, you can now have a different way of layering these sounds at the same time. Let's bring this all in. Now that's with our MIDI output going to the 0 box instrument. Let's bring it back to instrument here in Melody Sauce 2, and we'll play a Melody Sauce 2 tone generated metal bell here with the addictive keys here. There. Now I know we've covered quite a bit, and I feel like we could keep going on and on, because what I'm doing now is just having creative fun, which is the best way to work always. You have to admit, you know, when programs like this, you know, really help inspire you to create, and you get instant results right away without losing your train of thought. You're not losing what you had before, because remember, when you create something new like this, it just populates in the melody bank. So you could say, oh, wait, did I overwrite that? No, you didn't. It's right here. Here's Melody 2 again. Here's whatever we just created now. And say, in a real world scenario, oh, what did I do? I didn't mean to create that. Well, you could just delete it like so and go back to the previous one. So it's another tip for you. You're never going to lose your work. As long as you keep creating, you know, using the AI engine to generate melodies for you and putting them in the bank, they're safe in the bank. And when you save your session like I do, all of these settings, every one of these in real time is saved for you. So when you open up your session, you don't have to worry about, am I going to get everything back exactly the way it was? It has never failed me. Melody Sauce 2 here has always been, reliable that way. I'm always like, oh, I really love that tone. I fire it up and it's always there waiting for me. So now we talked about the advanced editor here, how you can create specific chords from one, whether you're going to loop 1 bar, 2 bars, or all 4 bars. Keep that in mind as well. You can also adjust the rhythm, the tonality, and play around with flipping some of the notes and choose the specific chord in those beats. But remember, you want chord adjust on here if you want to be targeting these specific chords. If this button isn't on, then it won't do that. So definitely, that's another tip for you. You want that button on, okay? And then when you're done with the editor, if you need some more real estate, just close it like this. Everything is still there the way you left it, okay? See what I mean? It just saves all of your settings. In fact, once in a while when you're using Melody Sauce 2, you may want to open this up to, make sure that, oh yes, I did have those settings on. Just another workflow thing to keep things in mind. If you have the screen real estate, then I suggest you keep the advanced setting page always on and available for you. And again, this is a great way of targeting specific chords per measure in your audio when you're creating these loops. All right, so that was a real fun look. Let's go back and listen to this one more time. I'm playing it like an instrument. You see that? I'm changing between the MIDI output and the instrument. And there you have it, everyone. So check it out today. There's some information in the description below. If you're able to join me in this live stream tonight here on Let's Talk Live on Music Marketing TV, thank you so much. We had some really great questions and comments in the chat room. I appreciate every single one of you. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future live streams like this coming up. And you get to check out all of our videos. We have some amazing videos from really amazing people on our channel. So stay busy and stay creative. Download a demo today. Better yet, just pick up a copy, because I know that whatever work and type of music you're working on, this will be the right sauce for you. And that's it. Just stay busy and stay creative, everyone. Thank you for watching. Have a great night and cheers.